Good day, guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, do not forget to like and subscribe. And in this video, we will get on with I want to introduce a concept before we start the step definition. I did say that we are going to do the step definition today, but let me just quickly introduce the concept, then we'll get on with the step definition. So in our command file, we've been able to create custom commands. But what if we have a situation where we have so many commands and it would become cumbersome to have them all placed inside the command file? So we might need to create more folders in the support folder, but we want to create them as custom commands. How do we do that when we are using TypeScript? What we need to do is we will need to change the scope of our namespace. We will declare it as global. So how do we do this? So let us still use these two examples that we have. Let's say we create a new folder here and we call it let's say common commands, right? Let's call this folder common commands, and in common commands we create a file called common actions. We call that these common actions. So inside common actions, let us let's copy this. Let's cut this out and put in common actions. So at this point, it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like this won't work. At this point, it doesn't look like it won't work. But what we need to do to make it work, we'll get there now. So let's leave it that way first and go ahead and create our steps. So in order to create these steps fast enough, let's create a file inside here. We need a file for our step definition. So we'll create one and call it steps.spec. Let's see why a TypeScript variable. So we create this. So you can come into your VS Code and download a plugin called Cucumber. Yes, this one. It gives you, if you install this plugin in your VS Code, it gives you some abilities which I'm about to show you right now. So instead of going around creating your Gherkin syntaxes, implementing your Gherkin syntaxes by yourself, you can just select everything, and you have some options that will come here for you. You can generate a step definition and copy it to clipboard, or you can just let it go to the dynamic path where you have done it. So I can copy to clipboard, click on copy to clipboard, and while it's still selected, I come into the step definition, then let me leave a space, then I paste, and there you have it. All the steps have been created automatically. Or I can also do this, go back here, it's still selected. I can click to dynamic file path and I navigate to the part where I want it. I want it inside this folder. Let me do that again. It's quite fast. So I click on Cypress, I open the E2E folder, then I put it in the I open the banker.journey directory and put it here, and everything when you open it is there. So we are seeing some squiggly lines causing some errors. It's just because we have not imported the Gherkin syntaxes, like given, when, and then. Now remember that we are using a conjunction here, a conjunction and. So this and is an extension of this when, and this and here, let's say in then, let's say you have another action that you're using for an effect. So instead of having two thens and you add an and with it, that and will be an extension of this then. So what that interprets into is that when you have a when you have those ands, they will just interpret to the actual thing you are representing them with. What I'm saying is, this and is representing when, so the interpretation will still remain as when. And if the and was representing a then, the and when it is interpreted will be done this way. So moving forward, we've created these steps. Now let us use what we have before here to populate the whole test, right? So we can come into the journey and say, okay, yes, given I'm on the bank app means I have to put my visit. I have to put my visit here, right? And the next thing is I have to click the bank login. I will not even use this. Let me use this as bank login. Let me use this as bank login. So I'll just change the value inside it. And this right now will just be the value of this. Will be what is here, because I didn't put this one in the file in the fixtures folder, so I can use it to replace this, and it will click the element for us. Remember that we've put our type a text here, right? So watch what happens. So the next thing that we need to do now is find a way to put the rest into it. So I'll first create the fixture file. Let me create the fixture skeleton first. Here, let me quickly create this fixture skeleton that we've been using. So cy dot fixture with the fixture as selector. That's the name. Selectors, that's the name in the fixtures folder. Selectors. You don't need to put the extension. Remember I mentioned that it resolves itself by first looking for a JSON file, then it looks for a JS file, then it cascades down like that. So we call this cell, and we create the arrow function, and we begin to put stuff inside. So I will copy this skeleton and I will just paste round. No, let me just do adding a customer step alone. Let me do the adding a customer step alone, the last name and the postcode. So the rest I will populate it, because I'm trying to make sure that we don't have a very long video at the end of the day. So with this done, the actions that needs to be in these steps are already here. Now you can begin to see the difference between BDD and TDD. Now in TDD that we've done before, a set of action to test a particular feature, it will be in a particular block of code. But in BDD, each of those features is still like in a block, but it is separated because each step that is taken is highlighted so you can see it. Some people don't like it. They feel it's a waste of time. But for some people, it makes things really more explicit. You know where exactly a step is failing or what is really happening there. So I'm going to go ahead and paste. Then I begin to remove the ones that is not needed. And I'll do the same thing here. Paste for the name. And I'll do the same thing here. Postcode. Then I'll do the same thing here again. And remove that of the click button and bring it here to easily create a customer for us. So if I try to run this, let me restart this. And next, if I try to run this right now, I expect to encounter an error, right? I expect to encounter an error with the type text because it most likely won't be able to find that particular step. So let's see. It's able to visit, it's able to click, but it can't type test. And as you can see, the error is it is not a function because it is not defined. So how do we define it, being that we have moved it here? The first thing that we'll do is we change this namespace. Instead of declaring Cypress alone, we declare a global namespace. And let's just close that global namespace here. Let me format this to make it look good. Yes. So the global does not have to sit here anymore. So I'll take this out and put it in the e2e.cs in the support folder. So we put it here, and this corrects everything, but it still doesn't fix our issue because there is no way to access this right now. So in order to access it, instead of just importing the command file alone, we'll import the location where that command is also in. We've done something like that, like this, in the videos for Cypress 10 using the using the JavaScript mode. We've done this before, so I am just doing it again, but showing how it would make showing the difference between using TypeScript and using JavaScript. So with this, I think we've been able to fix it. So let us try to run our code now and see if it will be able to do that for us. So once it does that for us, we've been able to establish how to extend our you see, it's working now, and it has successfully created the user. It has successfully created the user. So what we'll now do is, in the next video, I will populate the other commands. I will use the common action commands that I created. Now that's where I'll put the remaining commands, so I will not use the command file anymore. So we will now try to test that. Then if it works in that same video that we want to do, we'll just run everything that I've executed and see if it works. I would quickly explain it. Then in that same video, we will look at creating a scenario outline. Yes, let's start with the scenario outline. Yeah. So if you've gotten this far, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.